everyone, it's Evan here at Ease into Flow. Thank you so much for joining me today for your practice. Today's sequence will be all about being gentle with ourselves, so it'll be more of a gentle sequence. This class would be great for all levels of experiences when it comes to yoga. I do have my mat and my block set up here. You don't need any props, but if a block or a pillow or even a book helps provide you with some assistance with doing the different poses and variations, then feel free to go ahead and grab those. And so we'll go ahead and get started.
Let's begin in puppy pose, where our hips are stacked above knees. You can also bring a small pillow to help pad your knees for comfort on the mat. Chest is actively moving towards the ground. Shoulder blades are retracted, and we have inward rotation of forearms. Continue to bring your hands at the top of the mat to further that stretch, or you can utilize a block or a small pillow to help give you that deeper stretch as well. We'll hold here for 5 full breaths. We will then begin to move into tabletop, still keeping our hips stacked above our knees, but now our shoulders are stacked above our wrist here. Spine is neutral, as well as our neck, and our gaze is forward, helping us keep that neutral spine. Our core is engaged, so imagine a line going straight from your head through your tailbone here. And we'll begin to move into a few rounds of cat-cow, where we'll exhale for cat and dome our spine, keeping our gaze to our thighs. Inhale for cow, our gaze looking upward and our belly expanding, our shoulders are broad. Then exhale for cat, keeping that dome-like spine. Inhale for cow, expanding our belly. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Our final round here. Exhale for cat. See if you can dome that spine just a little bit further. Inhale for cow. Here we'll begin to take some barrel rolls, 2 on each side at your own pace here. 4 breaths. And then we'll move into our figure 8s. And if you'd like to take a twisted puppy, take what you need here. But we'll do figure 8s for 4 rounds of breaths, for 2 on each side. And then we will begin to lower ourselves flat on the mat. And we will begin to transition into cobra pose. And as we lift up, we'll take an inhale, leaving our feet flat on the mat. Exhale, lower. Another inhale for cobra, keeping those thighs engaged. Exhale, lower. And then we'll end up back up on our knees in hero pose and just give ourselves one big hug here. Okay. Then we'll move into high plank where we're stacking our shoulders over our wrist, keeping a cat-like back with an engaged core, as well as our thighs. You can also do a low plank as well on your forearms or dropping your knees. Then we will begin to tiptoe all the way up to the top of the mat and just hold here for a brief ragdoll pose. Just fully surrender. And then we'll begin to rise up, vertebrae by vertebrae, as slow as you possibly can, with your crown being the last thing to rise. Then we will circle sweep our arms and meet them at heart center in prayer. And for the intention of the sequence today, I ask that you just keep in mind to be gentle with yourself. We'll begin to move into our sun A's for 4 rounds. We'll circle sweep our arms again and surrender, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Spine is in neutral, hands to shins. Exhale, lower. Inhale, halfway lift once more to establish. Hands to shin. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into plank or low plank. Chaturanga our arms. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll do 3 additional rounds here since we've established our sun A's. Take a deep cleansing breath. Exhale, open mouth, sigh it out. Inhale, rise to your toes. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, step back into plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep cleansing breath. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, rise to your toes. Exhale, step, hop, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, step back into plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep cleansing breath. Biggest exhale ever. Open mouth, sigh it out. This is our final round of sun A's. Inhale, rise to your toes. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, hop back into plank in Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll move into 3-legged dog. So lifting up our right leg, our foot is flexed. The triads of our hands are pressing into our mat. Our glute is engaged. See if you can lift up that right leg a little bit higher, still keeping a stable leg within your left leg. And we will begin to bring our leg through for low crescent lunge here. Keeping a 90-degree bend with our right leg, and our left knee is on the ground. You should feel a stretch within your quad. Arms for right now are neutral on your sides. Begin to lift up our arms and make a cactus with a proud chest. Palms are facing forward. Then we'll begin to create an interlace behind us. Then we will release the interlace and begin to release backwards for a half split. Also, I love to have 2 blocks, or you can also do this with small pillows on either side of me to help guide me with this stretch, as well as we're stretching out our hamstrings. Then we'll move back into low crescent lunge to counter that stretch, and then we'll move back again into half split. See if you can fold a little bit deeper there. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale on the half split. Then we'll move back into low crescent lunge again and transition to Skandasana at the top of the mat. So our right foot is placed flat on the mat, while our left leg is extended and externally rotated as well, and our left foot is flexed. You can bring your hands into prayer center right here, and you can also place a block underneath your bottom as well to help with stabilization. But the most important thing is to make sure that your right foot, the foot at the top of the mat, is flat. We'll begin to then transition into perch pose, placing both hands at the top of the mat and lifting ourselves up, but still keeping our hands on the mat. And our right leg is lifted and behind our left knee here. You have time to gain some stabilization. And then we will begin to lift up into our one-legged Tadasana and creating a lowercase h with our right leg. You can keep some water within your left leg by creating a slight bend. What this will do will help with creating stabilization, and also do not forget your core here. When attempting to stabilize, and your hands are rotated inwards here, gaze is neutral. From one-legged Tadasana, we will then move into our eagle pose, lifting your right foot, cross your right leg over your left thigh, and then hook your right foot around the back of your left calf. Swing your right arm under your left and bend your elbows to point your fingers upwards. Bring your palms together or clasp your left thumb and extend your elbows away from your chest. Exhale and sit deeper into the posture. You can also forward fold as well if you'd like to get deeper. And then also you can practice this with your back against the wall, so you don't have to entirely wrap your legs around, and you can keep your toes of the top leg on the floor. All right, we have 4 more breaths here, so if you need time to get back into the pose, it's perfectly okay. Remember, we're being gentle with ourselves, so we just want to continue to hug ourselves with the eagle pose. We just want to continue to be gentle with ourselves here. Right? Then we'll begin to unravel the arms and uncross our legs, still holding for a little bit of balance here. Begin to bring our right leg behind us for flying crescent. By having our arms behind us like we're carrying a beach ball, and our chest is at a 45-degree angle with our cores engaged. And then we'll move into Warrior 2 with our heel arch alignment with our feet, and our arms are strong parallel to the mat, and our gaze at the top of the mat here. I'm going to tip it back for peace and straighten your foot and take your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog to do the same thing on the left side. So in downward facing dog, we'll begin to lift up for 3-legged dog. Our left leg now. Our left leg is flexed. Our glute is engaged as well as our core. See if we can get our left leg just a little bit higher. And then we'll begin to bring our left leg through for low crescent lunge. Take some time to get stabled here. Our left leg is at a 90-degree bend now with our right knee on the mat. Foot is lying flat for the right leg while our left foot is flat on the mat as well. Begin to cactus our arms, creating a 90-degree bend with a proud chest here. And then we'll bring our arms behind us for an interlace to open up our hearts just a little bit more. Then release with both hands on our sides. If you have your pillow or your block here, you can place them on either side of you as we will release backwards into a half split. See if you can inhale, halfway lift, exhale, lower. Then we'll move again into low crescent lunge to counteract that stretch. Back again to half split. Release upward again for low crescent lunge. And then we will transition to Skandasana at the top of the mat, where the left leg is lying flat on the mat and the right leg is externally rotated here. I'm still using the left leg, but I'm just changing my position on the mat so my back isn't facing you all. So you guys can see everything. All right. You can meet our hands in prayer center, and also you can utilize that block, placing it underneath you. From here again, we'll meet in perch pose. So bringing that right leg to meet the left by keeping our hands on the ground. Our left leg now will be placed behind our right knee. You can keep a slight bend in your right leg to help keep you stable. And then we'll lift up and create that lowercase h for one-legged Tadasana. Keeping our core engaged and our gaze focused. And then we'll transition again to our eagle pose by crossing your left leg over your right thigh and hook your left foot around the back of your right calf. So the same thing on this side here. You can also do this against the wall if you'd like as well. We'll hold here for 4 breaths. In here from eagle pose, we'll begin to release into one-legged Tadasana, then step back for flying crescent, still keeping our imaginary beach ball, then transition into warrior 2, still keeping that heel arch alignment, engaged core and strong arms. Tip it back for peace. Exhale, frame your foot and take your flow. All right. We've done the flow on both sides, so we will move into our restorative portion of the class to give our bodies time to process everything that we did within the sequence and to offer another opportunity for us to be gentle with ourselves as we continue on with our day. All right, we'll meet in child's pose, balasana. Bringing our big toes to touch and nestling our torso in between our thighs, reaching as far as we can to the top of our mat. Our forehead is placed onto the earth. You can move it side to side for a nice forehead massage. And with each exhale, see if you can get even deeper and surrender. 5 more breaths here. They will release child's pose and sit seated on the mat with both of your legs extended as we move into cow face pose. Bend your right knee, foot flat on the mat, and bring your left foot underneath to rest next to your right hip. Cross the right leg over the left, bringing the right foot to the left hip. Stack the right knee on top of the left. Reach the right arm up and bend your elbow and bring your hand down your back. Bend your left arm behind you and reach your left hand up your back and clasp your hands. You can also hold a strap behind you as well. And even if you don't have a strap, still holding behind here is very challenging. So just be gentle with yourself. Allow your heart to open. All right, we will exit and exhale and gently release the arms and the legs as we move on to the left side now. So we're going to do the same thing, crossing the left leg over the right in bringing the left foot to the right hip and continue to stack. And then reach the left arm up and bend your elbow and bring your hand down the back. And then our right arm behind us will be bent as we reach. We'll hold here for 3 more breaths. Then release. We will now begin to lie on our backs. We can begin to roll on our backs too to counteract that stretch as we begin to lie flat. We'll then begin to move into easy twist, where both of our legs rise into that 90-degree bend, and we will lie them on the right side, keeping our left shoulder still planted on the mat. I also love having a small pillow or a block here underneath the knees. So as I'm doing the easy twist, I'm closer to the earth here. And your left arm can also be lying flat on the ground as well as your right. We'll hold here for 5 breaths. Begin to release the easy twist on the right side and make it over to the left. Bring that block or pillow with you and place it underneath. Both arms are lying flat on the mat with now the right shoulder still pressing onto the mat. We'll hold here for 5 breaths. Then we'll begin to release and placing our prop off to the side if we were using one. Now we begin to nestle in deeply into corpse pose for our final resting place. We will begin to rest our toes, our legs, our thighs, our hands, our arms, chest, shoulders, neck. Let everything begin to fully relax. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Allow your jaws to relax. Unfurl your brows. Shutter your eyes closed. Shavasana. We'll begin to awaken ourselves with our fingers and our toes. Slowly bring everything back to life. You can begin to lie on your favorite side in fetal position and just circle back to the intention that we set at the beginning of class of being gentle with ourselves. seal that moment to carry on with you for the rest of your day or week or month or even this year. Begin to firmly press up and begin to bring ourselves to seated pose. And circle sweep our arms once more and bring our hands to prayer center. I hope that this flow reminds you to always be gentle with yourself. The highest good in me honors, salutes, and is grateful for the highest good in you. Namaste. If you'd like this flow, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. If there are any questions or any feedback that you have, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.